from one of the truly iconic stadiums in the NFL as you get a look at Lambeau Field here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. No two NFL teams have played more often than the Bears and Packers, and we're underway from Lambeau. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Here's Love looking to pass on the first play. Pass caught. It's Romeo Doubs. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. And even 20 yards and a first down on the game's very first play.
Love this look to start the ball game. They empty the backfield right away, and that's going to put some early stress on both their offensive line and on the secondary. And here they get the completion and a quick first down.
First rep of the game for Josh Jacobs. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Next, the receivers help spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
Play fake. Here's Love. And this is dropped. Oh, boy. A chance for a big play early, but he could not secure it.
Concentration, so key on a ball like that. It's hard. I know how difficult it is, but that's a ball you've got to come up with. And instead, a big play is going to slip through their fingers, literally and figuratively.
Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
They tried their best to pick up that 3rd and 1, but their surge wasn't enough to counteract what came back at them from the defensive side, was it?
Offensive line, especially in the middle, looked like they were on skates a little bit when that one started.
So now we bring up 4th and inches. This will be a critical call.
That is caught, and he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. Charles, their first drive of the game, and already they're taking chances here, but they get the 4th down conversion. I'm curious, do you think that that's something they game plan for on the opening drive if it came up, or is that something that happened organically?
I think that they game plan for it, Brandon, and when you think about it, let's just say it. The word analytics is a big part of how everyone looks at a game nowadays, but it's not just the analytics. It's a coach willing to be daring, willing to be bold, and they certainly were there. And that might have been a situation where even though you don't hit on the deep throw, you at least put in the defenders' minds early in the game that we're going to press the ball deep against your secondary. And that can have a ripple effect on how they function throughout.
To pass, here's Jordan Love. He finds his man, complete. That's Jacobs. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
This complete to the tight end, Tucker Kraft. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A good-looking drive for the Packers so far. It's a first down.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. Shreds him with his... And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. 18 yards for Josh Jacobs. And the Packers will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. They got to love that. 9-play drive results in 6 points.
That means they're doing the dictating. That means that they've described how the game's going to go. They're playing at their tempo, at their pace. If you're on the other side of the ball, if you're playing defense, defense is not methodical. They've got to go in there and shake things up and create a little havoc.
after the touchdown. Here's McManus now to kick it away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. Off the play fake, it's Williams. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. He'll go down as a gain of 6, and that's going to bring up second down.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
Throwing is Williams. He'll get this into the hands of Adunze. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears. I'll give the rookie another one on this opening drive and a first down with it. A nice start, Charles, for the first-year passer. He's come out, made a few plays, nice plays to begin this contest.
He certainly has, and if he finishes off this drive with a touchdown pass, I vote we don't call him rookie anymore. We'll move him right to veteran and continue from there.
And showcasing those strong legs on that run, getting through one tackle. Now she winds up getting 8 there.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Not much there, maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
I know the speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Could be 4-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on third. They'll try and run here with Swift. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. The Packers offense here coming back out for their second drive. This could end up being a pretty big drive. I mean, look, yes, it's early in this game, but they scored the touchdown. They got the stop. And now if they could get in the end zone here again, CD, they could grab an early stranglehold on this one.
Yeah, they certainly can, and that's what you're looking for. Where's the advantage? Can you gain it? Can you press it?
And that's caught inside the 30. It's a big play there for Green Bay. And even 60 yards.
But I think it's about time I took my eyes off of the secondary or the guys with the football. How about the offensive line on that snap? They took care of business.
Absolutely, and when he can stay in the pocket like that, you're going to get big plays like we just saw. In motion, the tight end. Throwing. Love. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Jacobs. 7 yards there on the first down screen play.
Good call there on first down. And, Brandon, I'm getting better over the years and not screaming out, screen, screen, screen with my defensive training. They want to keep those pass rushers honest, and they did so there, and they wind up picking up positive yardage.
2nd down and 3. Here's Love. That's to the tight end, Musgrave. It's the first time that they've looked his way tonight, and he comes up with a first down on the play.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. To throw now, here's Love. He'll get this underneath to Jacobs. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and it'll be 2nd and a couple. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Back for the second quarter in Green Bay. It's the Packers in possession of the football. From the 4, it's 2nd and a couple, as they've got it as we resume action. Again, it's Love. Touchdown, Packers! Romeo Doubs from 4 yards out, and the Packers go up by 2 touchdowns. Another impressive drive, so they're 2 for 2, 2 touchdowns. Charles, a great start to this ball game for them.
And one of the words that's really worked its way into our lexicon is stacking. They've stacked momentum each time out, and not only on offense. Between those touchdowns, defense held, forced a punt to get the ball back, and they've played awfully well in this one. Both sides playing at optimum level.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay.
If they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. Right back to Swift again on second down. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
To the air, Williams. That's complete to DeAndre Swift out of the backfield. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll bring up 4th down.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play, because if you can get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves that they might get hit with a screen, maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that play.
And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Green Bay offense ready to take over. So for this offense, Charles, remember, drive 1 made it to the end zone. Drive 2 resulted in a touchdown as well. Now they'll try to make it 3 for 3.
Yeah, and you know, they told us all week that this was the plan and this is what they wanted to execute, but did they really believe it would happen this well, this efficiently? I know they'll take it, and afterwards they'll say, there was never a doubt in our minds we were going to be successful in this one.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. Once again, it's Jacobs. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 45 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times. They had things a little spread out there with 4 wide receivers, and it opened up a running hole.
Yeah, not only do you get better running lanes because you are spread out, oftentimes when defenses see 4 wide receivers, they substitute in extra defensive backs, so you're blocking smaller personnel. That gives your running back a nice chance downfield against that type of a defense.
And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
They'll run right here with Jacobs. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
On 1st down, they go with Jacobs again. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Love now. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. Jacobs going to try the middle, and he's going to be a yard short. A 2-yard pickup leads to 4th and 1.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
Feeling like they're not quite in field goal range yet. They're going to go for it on 4th. Love. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Packers unable to pick up the first, and the Bears will get the football back. The Bears in good field position to start out 1st and 10 at their own 43. On play action, here's Williams. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Certainly not the way they drew it up in the playbook, but that's why they love this guy back there. He sees things breaking down, and he's more than capable of finding an escape route and still getting a decent gain.
Play action. Now Williams. And that's out to the flat for Swift. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And he's got it to about the 40.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
To throw, Williams. Allen's got it complete. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
We pause for an injury here. It looks like it's Keenan Allen who's in some pain down there.
While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment.
and 3. Looking to throw is Williams. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 22-yard line. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they're having panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. 12 more yards there and another first down.
And a nice job by the two of them to not only connect on the pitch and the catch, but to carry over their practice work to the game field. They saw the adjustment by the defense, made an adjustment themselves, and picked up the first down.
Here's Williams. A throw out wide, going to be incomplete.
I'm not liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
Here's 2nd and 10. Williams going to look to throw again.
Over the middle, complete. It's Scott. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they get it right at the 30-second mark of this first half. Ninth play coming up here on this drive. This is 3rd and a yard. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown.
Caleb Williams
keeping it himself from a yard out.
And the Bears get a late score here in the final minute of the first half.
The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football, full half to be played. Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away.
And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. The Packer offense heading back for one final first half drive. And with a 7-point lead, they'll likely look to take this to the locker room and not really press the issue.
A little over 20 seconds remaining in the half as they'll line up here 1st and 10. Love looking to throw it.
Able to find his man, Kraft.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. That'll go for a gain of 7. And it's 2nd down.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
Off the play fake, Love. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Montez Sweat, the man that time to fight in and drop him.
So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. A 1-touchdown ball game, 14-7 our scores. We get back at it on EA Sports.
This taken in at the goal line. And he takes this near the 25, just a little pass there, call it the 26.
So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this 3rd quarter.
And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the 2nd half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, but a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
To throw, it's Williams. And there's a short throw. It's caught by Kmet.
5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
3rd and 5. Working out of the gun, Williams. He's got his target. That's complete.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down.
A lot of great quarterbacks from USC. Here's another one. The rookie's got a first down.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
To throw once more, here's Williams. And there's a short throw. It's caught by Kmet.
Short completion, just 4 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately, because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on 1st down.
From the 38 now, here's 2nd and 6. Swift going to try up the middle.
Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
And this pass broken up. Well, the contact well-timed there, and now 4th down.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
Santos' kick is up and through, and they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10.
So they were facing the deficit coming out of the locker room at intermission, and at least they're able to get the field goal to cut into that deficit.
Yeah, now your offense feels pretty good about itself, right? A little bit more up to speed coming out of the break. You turn to your defense now and say, hey, we got 3 there. We're chipping into the lead. Can you help us out? Hold them. Let's get the ball back for us.
After the made field goal, Santos back out there to kick it away. Oh, a good-looking return set up here.
And a nifty return there all the way across the 40.
So here are the Packers now. They get set for their first possession of half number 2. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Now Love.
That's complete to Dobbs.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Good work after the catch, going to net him 23 and a first.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
Running straight ahead is Jacobs.
And that one opened up for him well as he'll take this down to the 26-yard line.
Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. I don't know what this says about me, but I love successful runs up the middle when the blocking is so well executed like that.
And it doesn't matter whether it's zone blocking, whether it's a power scheme. When you have a blocker on a defender, and then the running back can read it, find the proper hole, and just go, sometimes a thing of beauty.
And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. That one goes for 24 yards.
Well, they've certainly not shied away from throwing the footballs. They've leaned on their quarterback to start this game. 4 straight passes right out of the gate, with that last one earning them a new set of downs.
Jacobs diving for the end zone, and he is in. Touchdown.
Oh, what a luxury it is to be able to call a bowling ball like Josh Jacobs down near the goal line. 5'10", 220 pounds, and he's not afraid to get in there and get the tough yards. He finishes off this drive with a touchdown run.
McManus's point after is good, and that makes it a 21-10 game. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Chicago offense set to get started.
They'll look to make some inroads here, trailing 21-10 as they come up on a 1st and 10.
They'll start on the ground with Swift.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Once again, it's Swift.
Oh, he shifts past him. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That burst good for 20 and a 1st down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that 1st half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the 1st.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And they'll get this across midfield, but not nearly close to a 1st down as he stopped at the 48. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
The key to any screen play is all in the deception, and that means everyone on the offensive side of the ball. But someone gave it up because that one wasn't very well concealed. And the defense able to rally to him and hold him for just a short gain.
And this punt sails over the sideline. And the spot, it looks to be right at the 25-yard line. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other. I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. To pass, here's Jordan Love. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the 1st down on a 13-yard run.
At this point, this offense feels like they could just roll out anything, and it would work. They are certainly in no hurry for this one to end. Now when they can rack up some stats and continue to add to their lead.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now whistles here, flag down. I think one of the Packer linemen was moving. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Play fake. Here's Love. That's to Kraft, the tight end. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
Another big play right there, and this is where, as an offense, you can really put the hammer down. You've got a double-digit lead, but those other guys, they've been hanging around. A touchdown here could put this game out of reach, and that's a strong step towards getting it done.
And they'll send the tight end in motion. Here's Love. This is caught. It's Christian Watson. And they move this all the way down to the 9. A very solid gain of 27.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago. Followed it up with another nice one here. And before you know it, they're already looking at 1st and goal.
To throw now. Here's Love.
And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Throwing. Love. This is caught. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Lambeau. It's Packer football here as they've got the lead as well to begin the 4th quarter. Love, this is 3rd and goal. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers.
Christian Watson.
A 2-yard touchdown grab.
And the Packers have put this one to bed here in the 4th quarter. I've heard you use the term put-away drive, and that right there seemed like the definition of a put-away drive.
Yeah, it certainly just pops right up out of the book, doesn't it? Because up 2 scores already, just wanted to possess the football, keep converting and picking up 1st downs, and if the drive ends in 3 points, that's terrific. If it ends in a touchdown, fantastic.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field.
Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. Throwing is Williams.
Over the middle, and it's caught. Keenan Allen. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it's 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
From the 34-yard line, here's 2nd and 3. To the air, Williams.
And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
As we both know, there was a lot that went into why they made him their 1st-round pick this year. And part of it was what they saw in college, his playmaking ability when things break down. As soon as he saw he wasn't getting a lane to throw, he pivoted and found an alternate way to the marker.
From the shotgun, a throw for Williams.
He's going to look deep for more. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Operating from the gun, Williams. And this will be caught at the 30. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. 75 yards receiving for him now. It's a 1st down.
To get back in this ball game, big plays are going to be necessary. And here's one right on cue. Coming up with 3 scores here in the 4th is not going to be an easy task, but that's good work there to bite off a chunk of yards.
They go quickly here out to Moore. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
Boy, how good has this defense been seemingly all game long?
I really think right from the first snap, I think you're really onto something there. In this passing game, it just can't get off the ground. And that play, it wound up losing yardage.
They will run straight ahead with Swift. And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 17. 47 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
Back to throw. Williams.
Open man is Kmet, the tight end.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. So it goes as a completed pass, but they lose a full 5 yards.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time. At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
The Bears on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and 15.
They'll fake the give. Now Williams.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Jair Alexander.
And the Packers are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
2nd down, Jacobs once more.
And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Here now, 3rd and a yard.
Play action this time with Love. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. They only needed 1 yard on 3rd down. They get 10 instead by going to the air. Well, clear running situation. Trying to take time off the clock. You ran the previous play. Set that play action up nicely.
Boy, did they ever, because they had shown the ability to run the football. So now you lose your keys as a defense. You dive for the running play, and they hit them over the top.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. There for the tackle, Jacob Martin. Good gain there on 1st down, and keeps him in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively.
And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46.
They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
2nd down and 4.
They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20.
105 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
On the handoff, this is Jacobs. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be giving a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. Josh Jacobs, a touchdown run there from a yard out as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further.
So he had the nice run to get him down there, was stopped just short of the goal line, but they go right back to him, CD, and he delivers to finish the drive off.
A little extra determination there, don't you think, partner? You notice he didn't tap on his helmet and say, get me out after the run down to the end zone. He said, I almost got in. I'm going to get in on my own. I'm staying in. And he carries it across the goal line.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Well, now how about this return?
And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line.
Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field.
Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is in the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up 2nd down.
Late in the game, he's certainly doing everything in his power to buy time for his guys to make a play, but in this case, he's surrounded, and all he has room to do is to get back to the line of scrimmage.
From the gun, here's Williams. Complete on the quick throw to Moore.
Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2.
To throw, Williams.
And he'll go right back to Moore, complete again. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Williams. He'll get this into the hands of Adunze. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. Second and 5. Williams going to look to throw again. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Making that play on the pass rush, that's Devontae Wyatt. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hadn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense. I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure.
Well, this was a very close ball game at halftime, Charles, but in the second half, that offense kind of kicked things into another gear, and they were able to pull away for the victory.
And, Brandon, I think they're the type of team that just looked in the mirror and said, hey, ton of pressure on, but we're the type of team that can flat out handle it. They stood up with confidence, and made it happen for a victory.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The Packers are winners here as we say so long from Lambeau.